Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. We're kicking off Monday with some news about summoning, and let's touch on the summon rush first because it's pretty disappointing. We're gonna talk about the prism stuff after. So this is, this special summon rush event. It's got 50 extra fragments for the fusion in there. Not for the fusion itself, but for one of the epics that's part of the fusion. It's got the 100% bonus points from Ancients and from Primals, okay? But we were hoping there could be, a guaranteed or there'd be something fun going on here. Looking at this, honestly, not really. Not really. So this event kind of sucks. I mean, let's take a quick look. It's going to be 2 different 24-hour progressive chance events. So on Tuesday, let's sort of break it down. So on Tuesday, let's look at the Ancients, the Primals, and the Sacreds first. They're the ones that are boosted, the Ancients and Primals. Looking at this right now, I can tell you straight away, I would not really recommend pulling your Primals. Like, yes, they get extra points, but like Mythicals are so strong. I really think you're better saving those for 2x Mythicals. I really genuinely do. Ancients could be good, though. It could be good for Ancients. We'll see what the points are, but Gwendolyn the Silent, Underpriest Brogni, Pythion, and Tatura. One of the things that struck me, and again, looking at Wednesday, Matthias Blackveil, he's new. Armans, Mighty Uko, and Shemnath. We've got a few champions in here. Brogni, Pythion, even Tatura to an extent, Mighty Uko, former fusions that at the time, I think were considered to be extremely good must-pull fusions. They're still really solid champions now, but for endgame players, they've really been power crept. I know like over half of my viewers are like late to endgame, right? A lot of these have really been power crept. You might not even use them that much. Looking at Tuesday, Pythion's really solid, right? He's just a really solid protector. Lots of healing, cleansing, reviving, damage reduction, sort of everything that you want. He's tanky. He is really solid. I do think, again, he would have been at one point when I got him. I used him a ton in Arena. And he's really starting to fall out of Arena for me. I just don't use him that much anymore. Been power crept by the likes of Ancora. Narcisse destroys him, obviously. And yeah, like the Mythicals and so on. So he's definitely not top tier for Arena anymore, but he's still really solid. And he's just solid across the board. He's very good for any of the Nether Spider type bosses. He's very good, I think, for Sand Devil in one of the Cursed City rotations and all that. Solid champion. So he is solid. I think Brogni is solid as well. Both of them, by the way, would really help you in progression. Like, Brogni is very good against a lot of Doom Tower bosses in particular, and Demon Lord Clan boss and all of that. With Brogni right now, there's obviously the potential to combo him with Wixwell as well for tons of shield growth, and to use that to survive against Demon Lord, or potentially to combo that with Yannicka for Hydra. So if you're interested in those sorts of things, Brogni could be really strong there as well. So yeah, he sort of fell out of favor when Corpulent Cadaver was nerfed, but now you've got, like, Yannick, you've got all these new things in there, so he's come back in a little bit. Yeah, Brogni's decent. Gwendolyn is okay. She is sort of like, I feel she's sort of a really solid champion. That's a bit of a budget option for like Fire Knight Hard. Like she's super viable for Fire Knight Hard 10. Lots of extra turns lots of wave clear. Triple hit A1, and then she's got a decreased speed, right? She's really solid for Fire Knight Hard. And she's, pretty okay budget option for Hydra as an AoE decreased speed champion and a little bit of damage. So she's, decent. She was a former guaranteed. Tatura, another former fusion as well. Tatura, I think he's particularly good with the Incarnate, funny enough. I think the two go very well together. Now, is that a super valuable thing? Not immediately right now, right? She's ally protection, strengthen, and shields, and then he comes in with block debuffs, increased defense, and perfect veil. It's quite a nice combo. He's, I think, quite nice for Bommel, right? As a guaranteed decreased accuracy A1. So he's had a bit of a niche use for that, but yeah, I mean, I would be saying on Tuesday, probably Pythion would be my favorite one, but I'm not really blown away. Probably Pythion, then Brogni, and then Gwendolyn, Tatura. Probably Gwendolyn, then Tatura would be my ranking. So 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe, but none of them are blowing me away that I really want to pull for them. I've got all of these champions, and I don't use any of them very much, to be honest. On Wednesday, Well, let's look at the elephant in the room. I mean, Arman's the Magnificent. Look, if you did not get Arman's in his fusion, you obviously go for this, right? This is the one to go for. If you have the shards for the event and you're going for the event, we'll obviously look at it in more detail tomorrow for the points that you need when the Summon Rush goes live. But if you are going for this event, he is without question the best one here. More recent fusion, maybe he'll be power crept in the end. You know, maybe everyone will have a Galathier. I think Galathier is quite good against Armans. You know, you can build him with high resist and he can resist. Then he can swap into Form 2 and lock him out permanently and stuff. Maybe everyone will have a Galathier eventually. But look, Armans is still, he's just insanely strong. We all know it, right? This guy is absolutely bananas for Arena. And also for any wave-based content. He's really, really good. Mighty Uko is also decent. Again, he was really strong back in the day. Mighty Uko did get nerfed, where his A2 used to apply provoke sets or stun sets or any sort of set twice, right? So you'd have a really good chance to stun people or to provoke people. Again, that was nerfed. It now only procs the once, so it's much weaker than it was before. And again, there's been a lot of power creep in Arena. Mighty Uko, you don't see that much anymore. Still a decent Arena champion, just not top tier. Not top tier. But Uko is still fairly decent as a champion. Decent for Hydra as well, right? Brings a lot of stuff in their kit. They're a good champion, so they're not too bad. Shamnath, I'm not too mad on, honestly, just a damage dealer. Magic affinity, nothing too special. Matthias Blackveil, now he is new. So this might be what people might look at saying, I mean, it's a bit disappointing, right? You going into this hoping for a guaranteed champion, that would probably be something new that you don't have. For the new champion to be just a progressive chance, kind of sucks, but I don't know if he's really that particularly good. We are going to be doing a showcase, I think, with me and YST on this champion on YST's channel, and hopefully that should be done before this event goes live. So maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, early Wednesday. Excuse me, perhaps before you need to pull the shards. That will be the goal. I'm going to ping him after recording this video, of course. Increase resist, reflect damage. Kind of awkward with taunt as well, which is nice. Bit awkward though, right? It's 4-turn cooldown, 2-turn buffs. That's a bit of a pain. He's got AoE that heals him. He's got a triple hit A1 that heals him. Could be quite nice for some Fire Knight stuff in Curse City, right? Reflect damage. He counterattacks as well. Yeah, he counterattacks. He's got a triple hit A1. He can heal your team. He brings some AoE. He seems like, again, a sort of an okay champion, but nothing special for endgame. Just kind of okay. So, yeah, look, I think if you're an endgame player, Arman's the Magnificent. Well, even late game player, Arman's is by far the best. But you might already have an Arman's. I don't know if you really need another one, or if you really want to empower him that much. I mean, it's nice, but is it that big of a deal? I don't know. So it's kind of underwhelming, I think, for an endgame player. I think there's no harm in trying to get a Mighty Uko or a Python or a Brogni if you don't have them. They're decent, but it's not particularly crazy. It's just making me very aware of the power creep in the game at the moment, right? Making me very, very aware. I mean, I was going to do maybe another video on this. This is from Shinny's stream earlier, but like you can see for the top of Classic Arena, right? This is from Platinum Reset. It's really very much, there's a lot of red borders in there right now. Like these old champions have fallen off quite a lot. For the Voids, interesting stuff here as well. Cardial and Riho. Now, these are both great champions. They're both still very, very good. Riho is fantastic for any bosses. Single target bosses, super good. To Queen of Sandevil and Phantom Shogun. I haven't paid too much attention to the changes to those dungeons. I did a little bit of a look, but like my teams still work, so I've not redone them. I don't know if she's as essential anymore, whereas before she was really pretty massive for trying to do Sandevil. I think it's probably not as essential anymore. But still good, still really good. So Riho's great. Cardial, ally attack, the cleansing. Don't see him so much in Arena anymore, but he's still really good for Hydra and bosses and stuff like that. One of the best ally attack champs in the game. He's very solid as well. And there's just sort of more options nowadays. So you've got like Mikage, etc. But he is still really good. Vulcanen, I wouldn't really recommend, honestly. Very low priority Vulcanen. He's damage dealer. There's a previous guaranteed for him. He's fine. He's a decent damage dealer for Hydra, but not top tier. And Vitreous, he got reworked. Not sure if I'm going to do a showcase on him. Again, I don't think he's probably that crazy. honestly either. Like I just feel like this is a pretty underwhelming summon rush. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it kind of sucks. We'll see. Like I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Like I might just, for me, I might do it with ancient shards and pull for Matthias. Um, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, like unless you're really looking for Armans, I'm not too impressed by this. This is my genuine thought. Now we also, at the same time, we do have a summon pool event, and no surprise, we were very much expecting this. Right, we got the faction unity for the Ogryn. It's an Ogryn Summon Pool. And probably next month, there will be a faction unity for Lizardman, and there will be a Lizardman Summon Pool. Shock, horror, wow. There are some fragments up for grabs right now in a Sand Devil tournament. Sand Devil turn attack, right? Compensation gifts. Oh, that's nice. Hey, cool. And there are some coming in Dungeon Divers, probably 25 in each one, so probably one pull in each, which is kind of similar to a Sacred, right? It's kind of like a Sacred Shard, so it's okay. It's a Sacred Shard in a more like a progressive chance Sacred for these particular champions. What do we have in here? We've got Blizzar, former Fusion. I mean, he's a decent champ. He's good for some Cursed City stuff for sure. Very nice for some Cursed City. And yeah, he could. I think he still can solo Sand Devil, but that's probably not as important anymore with the nerfs. He could solo Amius. I'm pretty sure that was changed as well. I think confirm that for me. Anyone that's done. I've never used the Blizzar solo stuff myself. But yeah, I think he still works for Sand Devil. Just he used to rely on 5-star Brimstone to be able to do it. He needed that. I think now he can do it with just Giant Slayer, I think. So yeah, he's fine. Ignatius, definitely power crept. Look, he does have the irresistible AoE burn, which is decently useful for farming Spider. Right, the Spider dungeon, you've got no chance for this to fail, so it's a 100% chance. Whereas normal burn champions, there's always a 3% chance every time you apply the burn that it could be just resisted. Right, this cannot be resisted, so that's great. That's about all he's useful for, though. I mean, he's a defensive nuker. He's got fairly long cooldowns, but he does hit hard. He's okay. Don't use him too much. Karagar, great ally protector. He's a nightmare when you fight him in Cursed City, I'll tell you that. But yeah, he very tanky, protects his team, cleanses, turn meter boosts. He's a good, solid champion. He's looking over this side. I don't know why, but he is. There's something very interesting happening. Most of them are kind of looking at the camera. They're like, yeah, we're looking at the camera. This guy, I don't know, someone walked past with a banana and he's like, oh my God, that looks delicious. He's good. He's a good champion. Again, not sort of crazy top tier anywhere, but an amazing sort of progression champion. That being said, Prism summoning pool events are not really progression events, are they? A fusion is a progression champion often. Summoning pools are kind of like Kraken-y events. They're not really for progression players. This guy, though, he's really good. He's obviously the prize here. Vizig the Noxious. I think he looks extremely strong, genuinely. Like increased accuracy, increased speed. He can decrease ally debuffs and massively increase enemy debuffs. He can even heal your team. He's AoE burn and poisons. He can blow up burns and poisons on his A1. It's all AoE attacks as well, which is great for like Cursed Set, Cruelty Blessing, War Master. Then yeah, he's boosting accuracy. Makes your burns and poisons just do more damage. You do more damage for every burn and poison on targets, and then they can't be removed, etc. I think he is potentially very strong for, bosses and Hydra, and in particular, I think he goes extremely well with Grazur. Very well with Grazur, who's top tier. You've got Ugo in there, who's top tier as well. Skrank could be kind of a budget option. I think, the faction's a bit limited in terms of what you'd actually run with him in Hydra. Like, Gerptuk's okay, but you probably wouldn't. Like, Vizig plus Grazur plus Ugo is like a pretty solid combo. It will get stronger, obviously, with time. Same with any of these faction unity champs. He does kind of overlap a bit in his role with Gizmak. I mean, they're not bad, but they're both increased speed burn champions. So there's a little bit of overlap there. I guess he lets Gizmak function better in his form 2 for Hydra. But yeah, I do think that he is one of the better faction unity champions. I think he's very solid, and you could definitely do some fun teams with him. Like, for me, personally, I would rate Fina and this guy as my favorite ones because I think that they create a lot of genuinely interesting gameplay and team building and unique strategies, which is good. I think some of the other ones are strong, but you know, a bit more boring, in my opinion, anyway. I think he's solid. So yeah, look, whales and kraken stuff might go for him. I'm not sure. I've not seen too much about him. Like, sort of the problem is he mostly seems like a really solid Hydra champ, but like, you know, krakens are just going for Trunda. So I just, you know, like the krakens, like the Uber krakens out there might get him just because they can, because they spend tens of thousands of dollars on this game every month. They'll just get him and they don't give a shit. But like, a lot of them have 3 Trunda teams now. What's he gonna bring to that? I don't know. So yeah, these are the events that are on. At the moment, I'm imagining, by the way, these prism crystals are going to be like 6,000 points or something crazy. It's probably very difficult to get. I'm grabbing the Sand Devil ones and I'll pull them. By the way, I do not think this summon pool will give you any points towards Summon Rush. Summon Rush just has no interaction with it. You could always wait till tomorrow to be sure, but it's extremely, almost definitely not happening, right? That it's an entirely different thing. So look, they are the summoning events. I think they're both fairly underwhelming. Like the summon pool's the summon pool. There's nothing new there. You guys get the drill. I think this summon rush for me has been a pretty big disappointment. Yeah, it's a pretty big disappointment. So I am not sure. Honestly, I might actually skip this. I don't need the fragments. It would let me skip some other stuff, but I might rather save my shards. Like, I mean, I've got 200 ancients. There's not that much useful to use them on. It would be just really sort of guaranteed champs from Ancients, but the guaranteed champs from Ancients aren't even that crazy impactful or frequent anymore. I feel like with the way the game is going, it's really going very, very primal shard. Honestly, like, what do you guys think? For me, at the moment, I have a strong feeling that like champions from Ancient shards are more of a luxury. At the moment, it feels like for like Cursed City and stuff like that, it's nice to get a few of the champions, like, you know, random champs like Shuramani that just hard carry a particular stage. It's sort of like that, but I'm not too crazy hyped about them. Even Void champions are kind of like, okay, they're good. I mean, they're nice, but it really feels right now it's all about the mythicals, you know? That feels like it's where it's at. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think about these events? What are your plans? And yeah, we'll probably do a video tomorrow again when the Summon Rush goes live, breaking down like how many points you need and analyzing if you are going for the fusion, which way you do it. I think a lot of people are skipping the fusion, but if you are going for it, you know, which one is worthwhile, and all that. Listen, guys, thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.